Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. In 1942, in the cold desert of a small border town in Texas, a group of Cain are kidnapped and mass embraced by members of the fanatical sect, the Sabbat. Out of this group, only a handful survived, and through rituals and mentorship they became the pack known as the Pale Riders. Representing the sword of Cain, they are wielded by a mentor to cut deep wounds within the heartland of Mexico to the enemies of the Sabbat. Juarez on Fire is a Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat chronicle that follows the Pale Riders pack that consists of Mitch, a Lazambra played by Adam, Coyote, a Ravenos anti-tribute played by Alex, Eldrick, a Caitiff played by David, Jasper, a Bruja anti-tribute played by Joaquin, Cora, a Shimizi played by Slavic, and Richard, a Ventru anti-tribute played by Tillman. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy.
What we're going to do now to kind of like just cover bases or whatever is who wants to feed right here? Who needs to feed? I know Coyote needs to feed. What about you, Mitch?
Mitch is good, but he'll top off if the opportunity presents itself.
What about you, Jasper? No, Jasper should be full. Never mind. Yeah. What about you, Cora?
Well, she's basically almost full, but if she can get 2 blood points or so, she wouldn't mind.
All right. And what about you, Richard?
I'm also almost full. So if the opportunity presents itself, maybe, but no necessity.
Okay. For those of you who want to try feeding, we're just going to do the perception roll, difficulty depending on where you're trying to feed and like what you're trying to feed from. I would say around here, with it being darker, 1940-ish, people walking around, I'll say difficulty like 5, you know what I mean? Because it's not real busy, you know what I mean? Like in a city or anything. So which one of you guys want to do perception roll difficulty 5 to feed?
Yeah, I will.
All right. What about you, Cora and Mitch?
I'll do it.
All right.
Well, I totally botched. Big time.
Oh, you botched. All right. 0 success. Coyote, you go off to feed on your own. You guys are kind of staying around the inn area, just to fast forward it. I would just say that, like, what's going to happen is that instead of, like, subtly coming up and trying to, like, basically enrapture someone to, you know what I mean, to feed, you just don't have that ability. You know what I mean? Like, you come upon this lady that you see, lady of the night, that's walking around there, and you come upon her and you get close and you think to yourself, like, I am going to make her blow her mind, like my bride. Like, every woman, every person looks at me like I'm a god. You show yourself to her and her first reaction's fear and she turns to run. I'll say you easily can grab her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just hoist her up and bury my fangs in her bosom.
And I take it that you're going to drain her because of your vice of murder?
Yeah, of course. Is my bride with me? She's still eating inside.
No, your bride basically came out with a burlap sack. I'm sorry. Okay. You know what I mean? That had like perishables and everything like that in there. And she's just following you around, I'm
going to make her feed. Even like I'm pretty ignorant of the nature of vampires. I'm going to make her drink some of the blood. They take some.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is dark. Okay, first, before I do the scene, what's your humanity at now?
2.
Okay, yeah, you're going to have to roll, because this is casual violation, thoughtless killing, feeding past saturation. Yeah, let's give me a conscious roll, difficulty 8, please.
Conscience. Okay, conscience 1, huh?
Oh, don't botch, dude. Don't botch.
We're gonna lose you to Messiah before we even get to the fucking fight.
Maybe I should use a point of willpower here. This seems pretty crucial.
You can't.
I can let you take it back. If you want to take it back and not drain her, I can let you pull it back. It's your call.
YOLO. What was the difficulty?
How about this? He does a self-control roll first to see if he can withstand his vice.
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Sure, you're the storyteller.
What's the self-control roll for Ravenos for their vice? Difficulty 6. So self-control roll difficulty 6, please.
1 success.
1 success. All right. So you're able just to saturate yourself from her. I could even say like you pick her up and like you like punch her on the side of her head, and like which you hear a slight crunch, but you feel her still breathing as she like slides along this wood, and you go and you feed. I'll let you take like 3 points from her, but then I'll let you like force your bride to like, and we'll do the scene. Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
All right, so you got 3 blood pool points. What happens is you come upon this prostitute and you just show yourself like I explained. Smash her head against the wall, you punch her on the side of the head, you start feeding from her, and then you take your bride and you grab her by the back of her neck and you're like spitting some of this blood into her mouth and you're like forcing her mouth, like, you know what I mean? And forcing her to drink. And you could hear the bride like gag a little bit as she's doing it, you know what I mean? But she's fighting the feeling of wretch. And you like, she's looking at you like her face is on this, like on the bosom. She's like looking up at you, blood like dripping down. Like she wants you just to like give her some kind of like acknowledgement, like she's doing the right thing.
I'll give her this is going to be really cheesy vampire feel. I'm going to give her a blood kiss.
All right. Yeah. That's cool, man. And you guys are just like your long tongue that like horror, just like, you know what I mean? Vulgar,
Obviously
just,
blood
like,
spilling out the side of my face because my mouth is like flipped off.
It's just this horrendous scene. A matter of fact, and I'll say that Cora, who's going around trying to hunt, who has no successes, like walks around the corner and sees you two in the act over this body. Cora, you come and you see that this happening between Coyote and his bride as it happens. We'll cut to Mitch. Mitch, you come upon a couple people, ladies of the night there.
Well, if my sheet here is correct, he only needs 2.
Okay, so you're just going to take 2?
Yeah, he'll probably just chat up one of the ladies of the night. Be very pleasant and polite.
Yeah. All right. You're able to get 2 blood pool points.
Lonely old man.
Exactly. Lonely old man. While this feeding's going on, Jasper and Richard go by the church. You know what I mean? I'll let you guys get whatever, you know, like some holy water, whatever you need. You're picking up other things, and you guys are coming back along the road. And we'll say that you see Mitch come walking from the side. And I want to see a scene between Cora and Coyote right now before you guys head back to the boat. Coyote and Cora. Cora, you walk around and you see the scene. Scene's on you guys. Go ahead.
Oh my. I seem to have interrupted you.
I'll look up with blood just spilling from my maw. See, there's still plenty here if you need some. She's not dead yet.
I don't think that's necessary, Coyote dear. I'm quite full. It's just minding my own business on a stroll through the town.
Okay, I'll just drop the unconscious woman as if she's just nothing now and just start walking with Cora.
Cora would take her handkerchief and actually clean his mouth.
You guys see that. You see Cora cleaning his mouth as they are walking back to the road. You know what I mean?
I'll also put the rosary around Cora's neck that I found.
Oh my, thank you, Coyote. What a nice young man.
That I found, air quotes.
You guys end up getting back on the boat. We'll just say you guys back on the boat. We'll have one final scene between you guys before you guys go to bed. You guys are all on the deck of the boat. Go ahead, scenes on you guys. Since Jasper and Tillman kind of find out whatever, but or you can talk about what's going to happen the next day. Scenes on you guys. Go ahead.
I think we should discuss tactics, I guess.
All right, boss. What's the plan?
Mitch will snap out of his trance, staring at the ocean. He'll look at each pack member. He'll look each of you in the eyes, and he'll take a deep breath. We're coming up on the big one tomorrow, so I suggest that all of y'all make right with whatever you need to make right with, and get yourselves ready.
I'll share what we found out. Apparently Azul is like a salt mine that was made by this Middle Eastern family. That came from the 1910s, and apparently it's just been slowly dying over the years. No one goes there anymore.
Interesting.
Do we have enough equipment to light our way?
I have some suspicions that we have to fight in very, very small caverns.
And it's a suitable place for those people.
Okay, so in character, Richard is definitely afraid of fighting in a small cavern. He doesn't really know any mines from the inside, so that's what he's assuming.
You guys gonna hit the rack until you guys get to Capatchi tomorrow evening?
I agree with that plan.
I think most of us are ready to turn in, although Mitch is going to take a moment to restock the bar on the boat with that bottle of tequila he grabbed, and he'll leave the little toy soldier next to it.
Nice. Sweet. That's a nice touch there. I like that, definitely. You guys all hit the rack.
I'm going to allow the bride to sleep snuggled up to me. Like, show her some effect. I'll throw her a bone, I guess.
Nice.
And let her drink some of my blood as well, to, I don't know, increase the blood bond, I suppose.
Yeah, she's fully bloodbound to you now. So congratulations. You have your first disciple, apostate of the Church of Coyote. Everyone wake up, blow blood pool point. When you're all in your bunks right now, whoever, because we're just going to kind of say you all wake up around the same time, because like Richard isn't really head of the pack now with like humanity, you know. You feel like the boat is a lot more choppier than it's been before. Scene's on you guys. Go ahead. Like Mitch, you're awake. Go ahead.
Okay, if I'm awake, that means Richard's awake.
Everyone's kind of waking up at the same time. Go ahead.
Okay. Mitch will get up and he'll feel the chop and the weather, and he'll grumble, make some old man noises. He'll sit on his bunk, light a cigarette, grab his rifle and his bayonet, and he'll actually give them a polish as best he can with what he has on hand. He'll check his ammo. He'll get himself fully dressed, and then he'll head up on deck. And as he's going down the hallway in the boat, he'll knock on everyone's door, and he'll just say to everyone at once, "Grab your gear. This is the one."
I guess so. Like I'm getting like excited hearing that as a storyteller, you know. So, Corey, you see Mitch go through all these, you know, these steps, and you guys all hear the doors, your doors being knocked. I guess I'll ask this: as Mitch is going upstairs, I kind of guess I have an idea of what Mitch is thinking at the moment. What are each individual you thinking, Cora, right now when you see Mitch go out, start knocking on the door? What's going on in her head at this moment?
Okay, so Cora at this point is on the verge of like almost frenzy. Like she's like, this is it. This is the moment. You know, the moon's shining. It's time to rip these fuckers apart, and we'll see what comes out of it.
What about you, Jasper?
Jasper will make sure when he wakes up, he'll make sure to feed his driver, and then he'll make sure to like grab his knife, and he'll just sit near, like stand near the doorway, just like hesitating before opening it, just gathering himself. Then he'll get walk out after he hears like Mitch make his announcement.
Nice. What about you, Richard? What's going on in your head?
Richard is still thinking about the mine information, like trying to work out how a fight could work, and he's having these almost nightmares of going down to this mine many miles under the surface of the earth and just walking down into hell.
Richard is such potential future paladin material. It's not even funny. Like Richard is like the guy who's like tactician. You know what I mean? Everyone's like emotion. Richard's like I'm the analytical moonshiner. You know what I mean? And it almost makes sense in the fact that like the patience.
He was constantly afraid in his life to be caught or have someone attack his home out of spite. So he was constantly seeing shadows moving, completely drunk out of his mind with his rifle in his hands.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
That's still his mindset.
That makes total sense. And plus, to be a moonshiner, even though you don't have to have a high IQ, it's not like something easy. You know what I mean? You have to be analytical to make a batch of good moonshine. You know what I mean? And so you're taking these skills that you had in your mortal life and you're transferring them and adapting them into your new existence right now, which is like, I think it's rad. I think it's an awesome character development. That's, you know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. Also, you're the guy with the heavy bags that have all the random equipment that you guys have because, you know, you're strong. And so you're probably walking up there with these bags, I would say too, you know what I mean, of shit. Coyote, you're awake. What's going on in your mind?
Get up, and I guess there's a bucket of water. I've just washed myself off a little bit, and I'm just kind of looking at my hands and thinking this is a real chance to test what I can do now. But I'm also ready for revenge, like I was saying earlier. I haven't decided whether I want the bride to come with me yet, so I'm going to put that to the rest of the guys before we go.
Yeah, you can say you're on the deck and you'll ask them. You guys are all standing on the deck. Go ahead and you can ask away.
This is going to be dangerous. Perhaps I should leave her here, but can I trust these men on the boat?
Perhaps we could take her part of the way, onto into the town of Campeche. Then, before we actually arrive at Zool, then we leave her behind to guard the
Let
way.
me go check on something real quick. And Mitch will wander off to find the old man and the boy, or his son.
You find actually the old man is standing there, like without a cane. You know what I mean? And he's just kind of like almost like looking at the group in a way, but they're giving him, his son and his grandson are kind of like standing there, giving you guys a comfortable like 20 feet paces away. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to interfere. And as you walking towards him, you kind of see this look of worry on the old man's face. You know, as you walk up.
Mitch will nod to the old man, not that he can see him, and his son, and he'll give the grandson like a playful rub of hair tussle. And in Spanish, he'll talk to the old man. One more drink of tequila before we set off.
Yes, of course, my friend, of course. And you see, like, he already kind of, you see behind his back, he pulls the bottle out and he has like 2 glasses, you know what I mean? And he's like, I was going to ask you, but I wanted to respect your privacy. And he kind of like motions to you, which is odd a little bit, you know what I mean? Like you're not with one of the glasses, like in between his fingers.
Mitch will take the glass and he'll say, grab a third for your son. I don't know if you want the boy to have any, but...
And why not? You know, and he's like, and he motions to his son. The son walks in like the little steering cabin, comes out with 2 glasses. You see the little kid's kind of excited a little bit. And you see the old man like pop it off, and you're kind of again taken aback because he like pours a little bit in your glass, you know, and he's like waiting for the other 2, and he pours. And you're looking at the old man's eyes, and you kind of see the milky cataracts that were there before aren't as milky as they were like 3 nights ago, you know. And you see he's like, I feel like I'm starting to see shapes again, which is really odd, but I'm not one to complain, you know. And he kind of pops the top and sets the tequila down on the ground. And you see the little boy's like eager, and you see like the old man takes a shot, and you see the son takes a shot, and you see like the little kid takes a shot, and you're staring there, Mitch, looking at the little kid as he takes it. And you see like the little kid's like eyes like roll back in the back of his head a little bit, and you see him tremble, and he like kind of like goes back a little bit, and he goes along like the edge of the inside the boat, and he just kind of like slides down on his ass, and you see he's just kind of like shaking and pleasure almost. And you see like the boy like opens his eyes, he's staring off like into the distance, like he can't focus his eyes. You just see like this odd, like content, warm smile spread across his face.
Mitch will chuckle a little, and he'll look at the boy. Is this your first, son?
And he's just like nodding his head a little bit, and he's closing his eyes. But like you could tell the dad's looking at him odd, because like this is like not the normal reaction to someone who has their first drink. But obviously, due to the vitae that you introduced into the drink, this is having this kind of effect on the boy. And you're kind of like almost like this is the first time you've been confronted by that. You know what I mean? I don't know how Mitch would feel about that or whatever, but you're basically taking innocence right now, and you've just totally corrupted it. You know what I mean? You've totally introduced it to something into its system to where that boy is probably never going to be the same again, especially in the formative years that is going on right now. There's probably going to be unforeseen consequences in the future if this boy grows to adulthood. You know what I mean?
With to humanity, Mitch probably doesn't really care all that
Oh
much.
yeah. I see it. Well, yeah, and that makes sense. And I'm not like trying to guilt, you know what I mean, Mitch, into doing this. I'm just saying that's what's going on right now to kind of show the impact of what introducing not only vitae to someone, a grown adult, but to a young, like preteen teenager in his formative years. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to get that point across, definitely. And the old man kind of puts his shoulders on you, or his hand on your shoulder, and he's like, I have a sense that you're worried about something. I just want you to take care and be careful. And we are going to wait here for you to come back. We decided that we want to give you a ride back. So come back to us, okay?
Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. By the way, we're going to be leaving my friend's lady friend here on the boat while we're gone. Leave her be while we're gone. She likes her privacy, if that's all right.
Yeah, and is that Texan man who walks around all odd during the day and doesn't say anything? Is he staying too? That's the driver for Mitch and or not Mitch, for Jasper. So he's currently asleep right now because he sleeps whenever Jasper's awake.
I think he'll be staying too.
Okay. All right. You be careful. Seriously. Come back. We'll have a drink together.
I will. Don't you worry about that. Take care of yourselves while we're gone.
Yeah. And you see the guy's like the old man. You see he's kind of like trying to fight back some tears. You know what I mean? Like, you know, doesn't want to have man tears. like go down. So he just kind of turns around and he like walks off, you know. So you guys right now where you're at, you kind of look and you see that you're at another dock, but you see that the Capatchi, this town, is not like these previous two that you're at. It's like barely functional. You know what I mean? Like you just see like these old abandoned like kind of buildings. You see a similar building, little building office that's on the dock as the last one. You kind of see like there's a barn stable, you know what I mean? You kind of see some horses there and everything. But right now the sky is like full of lightning. Like you see these clouds and it's almost purple, even though it's night out, you know what I mean? But the water is like super choppy and the boat, you know what I mean, is moving, even though you're on the dock. And you see just like there's this thunder and you kind of feel the like a kind of light splats of rain, but it's not like quite raining yet. And you look further south in the direction south, and you just see like this white sand that seems to go on into the horizon. Like it's not like the other areas where you've been at where it's kind of like has like a little beach or whatever, and then like land eventually goes there. But you see like further south past this village is just white beach sand, and you don't really see any like trees or anything to that extent. You know what I mean? You don't see any road. You don't see anything like that at the moment. Oh, and one final thing. Xul is like 10 miles down that beach. So the old man before he leaves tells you, Mitch, you know, like, hey, where you're heading is like 10 miles down that beach. There's no road there, so you're either gonna have to walk or you're gonna have to like get a horse from, you know what I mean, where that barn, that ranch is at there. It's on you guys, so just be careful. And he like turns around and walks off.
Do we want to get ourselves some horses? Do y'all know how to ride a horse?
I don't know if one would take my weight at this point, or if it would even let me near it.
I don't know how to ride a horse.
I can force a horse to accept you, Coyote. That's not an issue.
I have not ridden a horse.
I guess we're walking then.
I suppose.
Well, it ain't like we're gonna get tired.
You guys start walking down this clear, white sanded, powdered sanded beach. You smell the moisture in the air and like the smell of rain, and you feel like the electricity of the lightning as it's cutting through, and it continuously like will light up the night and it'll almost illuminate the sand that you guys are walking along. On the left of where you're walking, you have the waves are just storming. You see these huge waves just are like cascading from the ocean, you know, and you see the light seems to be reflecting off of there too. And slowly you start feeling drops of rain hitting your head. And eventually, like at the 3 or 4 mile mark, as you guys are walking, the rain starts like coming down. And it's not like a hard jungle rain, you know what I mean? But it's enough to where you guys are starting to get soaked in this water. I take you guys are walking along next to each other. Like is that how you guys are walking, or are you just kind of walking on your own? Like how would you say that you guys are walking at the moment?
Figured we'd be walking as sort of a loose group in general.
Okay, definitely. And as you guys are continuing to walk, I'd say like about the 7 mile mark, and this is about an hour and a half, 2 hours in. And are you guys quiet at this time? Are you guys having small talk, or are you guys like focused? I just kind of like want to get a vibe of like how your characters are at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I take it would be hard to have a conversation because of the rain. You know what I mean? And the thunder coming down. But like, are you guys? What is this trek at this moment? What is this like march doing, making you feel at this moment, Mitch, as you guys with the rain going and just like not seeing an end to where you need to be?
A part of Mitch feels like he's back in France, walking towards the front.
Like that one step after another is leading you to an ultimate confrontation that is inevitable. Like I see what you mean, like a forced march in a way, right?
Yep. He's very grimly determined right now. He's probably not even smoking. He's probably just trying to focus his thoughts as much as possible. You know, salt mine, darkness, advantages, disadvantages to the terrain. What do we know? What do we not know? How can we use what we have to our advantage if this happens or that happens or the other thing happens? Just trying to work out every possibility in his head.
What about you, Cora? You same? Are you feeling frenzied, or like how are you feeling at this moment?
Oh yeah, like it's sort of, well, I'd say now that that she's walking towards the, along the beach towards the final sort of destination that we have. She's probably clutching her a ritual knife and sort of playing with it in her pocket. And she's not really angry or as agitated as she was before, but like very tense.
Tense, I like that. What about you, Jasper?
Jasper, he's now that we're like on this, the final leg of the stretch of the journey before we get there. Jasper's definitely like trying to psych himself up as he keeps on walking. He's like, okay, we can do this. I'm with the pack. We're strong together like this. We can overcome this. But he's trying to like conflict with the memory of like what he's seen, with like the memory of just the fact of being along among the pack, the dangerous pack that we've taken down, stuff. So yeah, it's sort of like the two things are conflicting in his head.
Nice. What about you, Richard?
Richard's gonna see the thunderstorm as an omen, and he's going to try to find out where it's located. Like he's going to try to count the seconds between the lightning and the thunder and try to watch the distance to maybe see a burning tree or something. Try to find out whether the pack is walking right into the focal point of the thunderstorm.
Definitely. I'll answer that when we're done here. What about you, Coyote? What's going on in your head right now?
I guess the thrashing of the waves and the thunderstorms kind of reflecting what's going on in my mind, where I'm just seething, still just eager to get stuck in, have some fun killing, because I haven't done that in a while, and prove who the big wolf on campus is.
Sweet, definitely. You guys, as you're walking on the beach, you notice that there's a slight incline that comes along the beach, which is, kind of like a little low slight incline, right? And as you're walking along, especially you, Richard, when the thunder lights again, lightning lights and lights up the sky like past this little slight incline, which you see is like the top most of it. You see a figure is standing there, and you catch the sight of the figure because you guys are about like 20 feet away, and you see the figure when it lights up. You recognize it's the shape, because you guys are especially on edge. You're hyper vigilant at this moment, is of Belinda, the one member of the Bandidos, the quiet female one who kind of had like shorter hair and who kind of dressed like a guy. But when you guys can see when the lightning comes, you kind of see that her eyes sockets are empty, like they look like her eyes were gouged out, and you see like her finger is just like arm is extended and her finger is pointing over the crest of where to the other side, and you see she's not like moving at all or anything like that, but slowly, eerily, her head like turns and is looking at you, and you see the gaping caves that are her eye sockets that no longer nothing reside in. Go ahead, scenes on you guys.
What in the hell?
Could they do that to one of their own?
Or she did it to herself.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Has she met final death?
No, I don't think so.
No, she would become dust. And Richard activates Auspex too, if it works on distances like that.
Yeah, it does. Go ahead and roll it. Perception and empathy, difficulty 8, I believe.
I have 3 successes.
So, you see pale. You see orange, bright orange. It's afraid, and you see these swirling hypnotic colors that are going on behind the orange, like that are coming out of the sides, which means psychotic.
I'm pretty sure they have done it to her, and she did not enjoy it.
And you just hear, and as her mouth opens, you see like she has no tongue. Her tongue has been removed.
We need to put her out of her misery.
If you wish to, brother Coyote, we all partaken in diablerie, but except for you, if you want, there she
Before
is.
you've even finished, I've already started diablerie.
You're going to lose automatically one roll, one dice of humanity, and you could potentially lose another. No, wait, hold on, because I'll just say you automatically lose one, because a 1 in humanity, to like have to roll that, it says like You have to be like Hitler or something like that. Yeah, utter perversion or heinous acts. So we'll say like, okay, you can diablerize her. First of all, let's do the mechanics of it, and then we'll do the story of it. Okay. What's your current generation right now, Coyote?
13.
So, you do not get any generation. But roll me 1d10, please.
Got a 7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have the potential to learn obfuscate in the future.
Ooh.
So write that down on your character sheet. The first dot in obfuscate. You guys see, like, you're in the middle of like talking to him, Jasper, and you just see the blanket just fall off, and you see him like rushing. He just like leaps on her, like literally, like just like takes his huge form and knocks his body over, and you just see like his hair come back and the horns, and like right when the lightning hits, and you see like his form, he's like wham, you just see the head slams down. You, Coyote, as you're feeding there, you know, that ego of yours is just running rampant. Like you feel like her, and then you feel her blood like coming into your system, and you feel that ego of yours, that Godhead is like coming into full effect. And at that very last moment, when you feel like utter emptiness from her body, and you feel her soul start coming into you, you start getting this. Wait, no, I don't want this. And you feel like as that soul like just comes into you, you're like see upon this vision of her, you see in your head, you see this figure like on the beach just come up, and you see these like it's like curled. It's almost like looks like a black mass of boulder, and then as you see slowly these wings come unfold, and you see like it's slowly like these arms come out, like it's pushing its upper body up, it's on its knees, and you see it look directly into you as this pure onyx and black, this face. It has no shape, it has no distinguished features, but these eyes that are just like black along with the rest of his face. So seem to like in their voidness of color seem to keep every color within it. Like things are trapped within these eyes that show no sign of anything but what they are. And you feel this panic start overwhelming you, and you almost like want to like run off in fear because you see
lashing out as well, kind of thrashing around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, as you're like doing it, and you see like as you're like this moment of panic when you first realize this is what a god is, and that you're like you're something finite trying to understand the infinite. That is what's going on at this moment. And then at this very moment, you feel like your whole existence and every atom and particle in you is going to dissipate and fall apart. You see black eyes again, but that are zoned in on you, like you're zoomed in on them, and slowly the picture starts coming out, and you see the face of Vidar, and you just see like this pale face and the cheap greenish black ink of these Nordic tattoos, and as you zoom out, you just hear this thumping voice sound that's the stake, and you hear it like in your head coming through as you snap out of it. You guys see after Belinda turned to dust, you see just like Coyote like curled up like in the fetal position for a moment, like thrashing out with his hands. And then you snap out at Coyote, and you see like your pack members looking at you in this clear white sand and dust that's like around your body at this moment. Go ahead, scenes on you guys.
I'm shocked. I kind of can't think. I'm kind of clenching sand in my hands as I'm on the ground, you know, like raking at it. I kind of feel like I've been humbled a little bit, punching my fist into the sand as hard as I can and screaming, you know, bellowing. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger style.
Jasper and Richard, you really feel an affinity to this. Mitch and Cora, you can't really like. Your experience was much different, but you notice that your 3 children in a way have reacted this way to diablerie, and I would say almost it would make you worried a little bit, Cora, because of like, you know, your pack priestess mode. But you two, Jasper and Richard, can relate to this. So go ahead, scenes on you guys before we continue.
Mitch will turn to Cora. Cora, do you by chance have any sort of chalice or cup we can use? I think this might be a good time for a Valdery.
Well, I did take our Waldery cup with us, and I do have the knife as well.
Oh man, this is such a rad scene. I did not figure, but I could just imagine like in this like utmost rain, thunderstorm, and like the ashes of like this Bandito pack member, and like the one who thought he was a god, just like just needing moral reassurance, and like what is over the crest of this hill. You guys like being like, fuck this, we need to bond. Like at this moment, we need to like fucking reaffirm our loyalty to each other and to the cause. Oh, that's such a fucking rad idea, dude. I love that. I did not picture this happening. You guys, like, by the way, I don't give a fuck. I'm not even editing this out, but I want to say, as players, you guys have totally killed it throughout this whole story. So kudos to you guys. I'm like super happy about that. But this is crazy. Okay, let's reaffirm this Valdry, guys.
Coyote, everybody, come on, let's stand in a circle.
I'll do so. I'm brooding though. You can see I'm troubled.
I'll keep this short. Everyone knows we have something very important to do. Just remember, everybody here, each and every one, it's possible that tomorrow evening some of us may be gone, all of us may be gone, but our mission is going to be complete, and it's going to be a success, and I know that. I know that because I know you. Then she cuts herself, pours the blood there, and passes it around.
As a storyteller, I'm going to say we're not even going to roll. I'm just going to give everyone +1 to whatever Valdry score you currently have for your pack members, because I feel that like everything that you guys have gone through, and now like it's almost like Coyote experiencing this finally on his own was like that final like piece that like just like fucking fell into place that just make you guys this unit that you guys have been trained to be. So everyone bump your Valdry scores for each other up by 1, unless you're at 11, which is the max. Obviously you can't go to like Uber 12. Okay, cool. Are you guys going over the ridge? Are you going over the incline?
I just want to take Jasper and Richard aside for a second, or in fact I'll just do it in front of everybody.
Hold on, a storyteller. I totally didn't. Let me describe the Valdry thing real quick, though. I just like picture this scene, though, like where you guys are all standing in a circle and just like rain and drenched, and you know what I mean? Like there's just no shelter from this storm, and this storm is just like the wind is blowing and the lightning is thundering, and like you guys are literally like have this cup that's just like getting drenched in rain, and you're just like slicing your wrist and like putting this blood in there. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like a clean ritual. This is like something that's literally being done in the center of the storm, and like you guys are like that rock that's in the center of the storm, that like none of this wind, none of this thunder or this rain is gonna like harm the stone that's in the middle of it. You know what I mean? While trees and sand and animals and life may be dying, you guys are just still solid in the middle of this, Go ahead though with your scene. I apologize, but go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of say to Richard and Jasper, I'll say, look, you encouraged me to Diablo Rise. So did you know that I was going to see that?
You needed to see what you needed to see. The beginning of wisdom.
You are stronger than this. You will come out stronger.
You will come out wiser.
Thank you, Richard, and you too, Jasper. I'll turn towards Mitch and extend a hand, like for a handshake, and I'll say, "Let's do this, leader. What's the next step?"
Mitch will take Coyote's hand, give it a firm, manly handshake, clasp his other hand on the back of it. Brother, we are the rock upon which this storm will break.
You guys are walking over the incline and gonna start going down the hill.
Yep. Mitch will get his rifle ready.
Right.
He'll slide his bayonet on, not knowing what to expect.
Nice. All right. So you guys walk over the incline of the hill. And as you go onto the top of the hill and you look down, you see it start going down and you see some more white sand. But then you see in front of you, like 200 yards, you see the backs. You see what used to be maybe have a building there. But through storms or destruction, man-made, nature, you don't know, only parts of the 4 walls are still standing. Meaning you see, like in front of you, you see a corner on the left of maybe the wall that faced nearest to where you guys are. You know what I mean? It's just like a corner of it, and maybe about like 10 feet of that corner of the wall is up, but nothing else is attached to it. And it's like made from this white stone almost. You know what I mean? It looks like bricks that maybe were white at one point or painted white. You don't know, but you see like there seems to be like some green vegetation that grows along it, like some ivy of some sort. You know, like this was a grove maybe that was in the middle of this beach, you know? And then you see to the right, you see a wall that maybe like if there was a wall here facing you and then there was a wall going this direction, you see it's like 20 feet and it looks almost like jagged, like almost like it'd be like a shark's tooth shape almost, you know? And then you see like on the wall farthest from where wall would have been if this building was still standing, you see another corner piece that almost kind of mirrors the one that you saw like on the far left. And in the middle, when you see on the ground, because you can see totally where like, you know what I mean, the ground of this building would have been, you see a bonfire going. And it's a strong bonfire. And it illuminates against these walls. These walls are like form shadows on the white sand of the beach that's around it. And you see this illumination. You see this fire illuminates on that tall, like toothed, jagged wall, the form of Vidar, who is chained by his arms, dangling, and has this stake within his chest. And you see that his eyes are open and his face is frozen, and you see his eyes are pitch black, like pure black. But he's like facing the ocean. You know, that's where that wall is facing at. And you see this bonfire's roaring, and you look, and you see this figure, this man. He's naked, and and by the way, you see that Vidar is naked too on there. But you see this man, like you see almost him from the side, you know, and he has this long, like black hair, and he has very pale skin, and he has like this very finely trimmed goatee of like the Spanish style. Mitch, you recognize this man. You are slammed with the memory of the visions that you had when you diablerized at Telexu, who was on that beach. Oddly enough, a pale white sanded beach like this, who was, when that Setite was backed into water, like he was like a cruel facade of a baptism of the ocean, and was brought up by a Spanish man. You see, and when that Setite saw a woman who was standing naked on a white beach, you're like putting this together. Like this was the same beach. You're realizing that as you're hit by this, and just a reminder, that vision, that woman opened her mouth and insects swarmed from her mouth and covered this Setite, and he woke up on the beach alone. But that Spaniard who put him back into the water and brought him out to look at this woman is the same Spaniard who is in front of this bonfire. And currently the Spaniard is rutting with this woman. But this woman looks to be pregnant. It's not the same woman that the Setite saw on the beach. It's a sobbing human figure. And you see he's just like grabbing her by her hair and his neck. And he's just like this, like showing no intimacy whatsoever as he's this pregnant Hispanic woman. He's just almost, it's a rape that he's doing to her. And you see at this moment, he's laughing, like, and you hear this inhuman laugh coming, and it's loud because it echoes on these walls, and it echoes from this grove, and it echoes to you up on top of this hill. And you hear him as he's laughing, he's chanting in this language that I don't think any of you understand, because none of you have dots in anything other than Spanish and English. You hear some Latin through in here, but mostly it sounds like this guttural language, you know, a lot of like that as he's like, you know, screaming on the top of his lungs, he's rutting, and you see him pulls this pregnant lady's neck, and you see him like has this dagger in his hand. He like slices across her throat, and you see his blood like squirts into the fire, and you see him like pull himself out of her, and you see the figure of Reginald comes, and he's wearing like those brown like potato sack pants, you know, made from that material, burlap pants, and you see him take the back of this pregnant Hispanic lady who's just like blood is just gushing out of her throat, and you see him like inhuman strength is just like holding her like you would pull a kitten by the back of its neck, and you see him like dragging. As you're watching him like take this figure, you see there's this white. There's this hole that is in the ground, like where the other wall would have been at one point. Like beyond it. And it almost looks like to be a well of sort. That's the only thing you can kind of describe, but it looks to be rather large, like 30 by 30. In its diameter, and you see him like. You can't see what he does because you just see the back of Reginald, but you see him take this like machete, and you see like him go like for him, but you can't tell exactly because his back is covering him. But you see like something dark falls out of the stomach area into this well, and you see him throw like the figure into the well behind it, and you hear, and at this very moment when you're like just starting to like put two and two together, and you guys are like starting to like basically like take this all in, you hear this slight insecticidal buzzing almost, and it's almost like gives you like the hair on the back of your forearms and on the back of your neck starts rising. It gives you like goosebumps, and you can tell it's coming from this well, this hole in the earth, and you could tell at this very moment this hole in the earth scares you. And you see like almost like this eerie like redness that seems to gently just kind of like break the very surface like a light almost. It's not as illuminating as the fire, but you see it kind of like pulses. And as you're like focusing, you look back down, you see the Spaniard again has this other lady, and you're kind of looking, you're like, what the fuck? And you see that there's like a cowering group of like these women, these pregnant women that are on their knees, and you see like there's this one figure in a robe, this dark robe that's watching them. And you see him just start doing it again. He's just running and he's chanting loud, but this time as he's chanting more, you see like the fire like sparks red a little bit as he's doing it. And give me a perception and alertness roll, Jasper, Richard, and Coyote. Difficulty 8. Difficulty 8, please.
0.
0. All right.
I have 7 dice and I botch.
Okay. What about you, Jasper? Two successes. All right. Jasper got 2 successes. And Jasper, so as you're sitting there and you're seeing all this, and you're looking at you take this all in, and you look at Vidar, and you see Vidar's face, and it just like sparks something off in your head of that vision you have, and you're just slapped across the face, and it's like the stake, and you kind of like at this moment realize that like that is the only thing that is stopping your bishop from being involved.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
Hey, do you like World of Darkness? Do you want to introduce your friends to it? But there's one problem. Nobody reads books anymore. This presents you with a problem, doesn't it? You want to get your friends into these awesome games, but they don't have the time or wherewithal to read any of them. Well, that's where Brett the Hitman comes in. Brett the Hitman, your one-stop shop on YouTube for all things related to World of Darkness. Currently in the middle of his Werewolf the Apocalypse series, which is showing tremendous growth. It's going to the moon! That's right, watch Brett the Hitman and you will get style, flair, humor, and of course some dank meme magic. Fucking normies! Brett the Hitman on YouTube at youtube.com/I love other people's misery. So watch now! If only for the dank memes. Tune in today!
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of it which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play Podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the Duets tag to find out more.